Hello, Alexander.
Well, good day to you, Mr. Mahoney. And who might these young folks be?
These are young explorers on a quest to solve one of the great mysteries of our time.
Excellent. Well, let's not keep them waiting.
I brought the young explorers to this old mansion to meet Egyptologist David Roll.
Stay together.
David was the first to recognize archaeological evidence matching the story of Joseph and his family in Egypt.
Sir.
Good morning, Alexander. How are you?
Good morning. Nice to see you, sir. Mr. Mahoney and the young explorers are here to see you.
Welcome, everybody. Come and gather around the table.
David, these are the young people I told you about.
Okay, good. Now we've got some important work to do today, some important research. I want to introduce you to the land of Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, and also, of course, the land of the biblical stories. This whole area here is all about where the stories of the Old Testament are set. You all know heard of the Sahara Desert, haven't you? Well, this is the eastern part of the Sahara Desert, and you'll see there's a river flowing through it. That's the River Nile, and that's where the land of ancient Egypt was. And we have the Promised Land in this region here, and of course the origins of the people of Israel came from Mesopotamia, up here. So what we have is evidence for them coming down into Egypt, into the delta, the northern part of Egypt, where they settled in the time of Joseph.
We're looking for evidence for the arrival of the Israelites in Egypt.
Ah, Joseph and Jacob. Well, they came to settle in the eastern delta in a place called the land of Goshen. What we find is right at the end of the 12th dynasty, there is a settlement that starts here in the land of Goshen, and the very first house to be built there is what we call a Syrian-style house.
This type of house is found in North Syria, the area where Abraham came from. It's exactly the same style of house you'd expect Jacob to build for himself in Egypt. And we know that the Israelites sought their brides from Haran in that region. They all went back to get their brides from there. So the culture that turns up in Egypt at the end of the 12th dynasty seems to have come from North Syria originally.
Why is that important?
Well, it's very important because it shows us that the people who lived in the eastern delta were not Egyptians. They were Semitic peoples. They came from the land of Canaan and from further north. And it seems like one of them settled here in the land of Goshen. And we think that might be the house of Jacob.
Is there a connection with Joseph and Avaris?
Ah, another good question.